Happy Thursday. I hope your week is going well. Another Titanic episode is coming at you today on Brickscale Studio. Welcome back to Brickscale Studio. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for joining me. So it may look a little strange today. I'm doing a bunch of episodes back to back, sort of in anticipation of the holiday season and all the craziness. So I'm just recording. Usually I go over to my desk and record the intros and outros to the videos, but today I'm just staying at my build table, just sort of knocking these out, getting them all piled up for the holidays. So anyway, today on the Titanic build, we are going to be adding another deck piece to that already pretty long piece that we've worked on in the last few episodes. We're going to be adding another chunk of that, so it's going to get even longer. And then, of course, we're working on some more lifeboats and things. And then on the Lego side, super exciting, we are cracking open box 2, and we are starting the middle section of the ship. So let's get into the build, and we can talk about it after. Here we are with issue 49. All right, so it looks like we're building another, the aft boat deck. So here is the parts pack for issue 49. Okay, so here we have the parts. So we have the aft boat deck. We have decking. Which mine is a little curled up. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's a little curled up on the edges. So we're gonna have to definitely use some glue to glue that down. So we'll be putting that on here, and then we have these self-adhesive reflectors, which we'll be using a little bit later, and then we have these adhesive strips. And then we have 2 more of these connecting plates. Once we get the decking on here, we're going to connect it to our boat deck assembly that we worked on in the last episode, the big longer piece. So let's get started with putting our decking down. This is pretty obvious how this is going to go. This one is going to go on this side. And this one is going to go on this side. And yeah, we are going to have to glue that down because the way that it's curled up on the edges, I don't think the adhesive on the back is strong enough. So let me get my glue and let's get that going. And this one's going to be fairly easy again because we have so many of these little cutouts for the davits and everything that... So yeah, like I said, it's a good thing we put that glue down because the edges are already like trying to curl up. So let's go ahead and get this side going. Yeah, this by far is the poorest condition of this decking that I have gotten. Most of them are fine. Alright, so hopefully this is going to stick down once this glue has a chance to set. I think once we connect these two, so we're going to bring back the deck that we were working on last time, and I believe once we sort of get these connected, then we can just let this sit because we'll be working on another piece. Yes, so they're showing this like so. And this is going like so. And these are going to join in just like this. We're going to pop 2 AP screws in there. All right, and then we've got our little metal pieces that we have here that we're going to put in here to reinforce this. So let me get the super glue. So this is a very long piece now. So I'm just going to let that sit. And now we're going to bring back our piece with the funnels here. So this is interesting. What we're doing, so here's the underside. And we're taking these adhesive strips and we are putting them over the top of the LED strips. This is very strange, but that is what we're doing. Yeah, so we're peeling the adhesive strip off and we are going to be placing it over the LED strips. So I guess that's going to diffuse the light. And then we're going to be installing some reflective strips. So let's get that going. Okay, so we got one. Okay, and there is 2. Very interesting. All right, now we're taking this piece of reflective tape here, and I want to make sure I have this oriented correctly because, so yeah, we're going to be putting, so basically we're going to be putting this reflective adhesive on the walls here, and there are cutouts for the windows. So the first piece is going to go right in here. So let me get that. All right, so that is all of the reflective pieces on. I will say that was a little trickier, mostly because static electricity, because you try to put it in, it wants to stick before you can get it all the way in, but we got it, so we're good, we're good. Let's see, I'm gonna set these up here because I'm not sure what we are doing for issue 50, but here is issue 50. Looks like we're working on some more Lifeboat stuff. We have another LED panel. So it looks like we will need this large section of deck here. All right, cool. So here is the parts pack for issue 50. All right, so we have an LED panel, a cable, 3 Lifeboats, only 2 tarps though. We get 2 benches, and then we have another dome, which is going to go probably here, I'm guessing. And then we have some more davits that we need to put together. All right, so the first thing we're doing, All right, so this one, it does say that we can use glue. So there are these boat supports, and 2 of them have like angled arms, and 2 of them do not. They're just straight. So we want the 2 angled arms, and we want to put those in like so. So I'm just going to drop the end in a little glue. So there's 1, and there's 2, so that is looking like that. So we're just going to set that aside. So these are going in just like we did on the previous one, and these they do not want us to glue. So, okay, and then this tarp does not have any holes in it. And then the next thing we want to do is we want to put this LED in, but we don't want to attach a cable. So I'm just going to set that aside. Okay, let's turn this over. And of course, they have this going this way. So this is going right in here, like so. So I'm actually going to turn it back around. Okay, so we got that in. Now we have a davit here, and we have this, and that's going to go right in these 2 holes here, just like so. So let's turn this back over, and it's going down here. And that is going in there. All right, so that is it for, hold on. So are we not, yes, we are. I was like, are we not putting the benches in? But yes, we have 2 little benches that are going in here. So let me grab those. We got those. All right, and that is it for issue 50. We are to keep, oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. We have to put the dome in. I'm sorry, this is my first day back after, I haven't done a video. The last ones, I did them about 3 weeks ago, so let's see. All right, so this is another one of those domes like we did on the other deck, and it wants us to put it in, but it does not want us to glue it. So I'm going to set that in there, and then I'm going to grab a piece of tape, and we'll just hold that in until we are asked to do something. So that's it for the scale model side. Let's move over to the Lego side. All right, here we are on the Lego side. So if you remember in last episode, we hit that milestone and we finished box number 1. And here we are on box number 2. So let's get this open and all right, so we got a ton more bags and our manual. Let me get this organized and I'll be right back. All right, so here we are in box 2, book 2. So interesting, so here is some more information, and we're gonna be working on the middle section. And I find it interesting, they continued the bag sequence. So at the end of box 1, we built through bag 12, and then we continue on with 13. However, they start the step numbering over. So even though we finished step 349 in the last episode, rather than continuing on with 350, they start back at 1. So for this episode, we'll be doing bag 13, and we'll be starting with step number 1 and going through step 15, I believe. So let's get building. Okay, that is the end of step number 15. So we've got to start on the base here. And remember, this is going to connect to the front part of the ship that we completed in the last episode, but we will be working on this for a while, so we won't see the front part until we finish with box number 2. And then, of course, we started this little component, which we will continue to build up in the next episode. So that's it for the Lego portion. So to recap this episode, on the scale model side, we joined this section to the longer section of deck that we worked on in the last episode. We added this decking, which is already peeling up, so we're going to need to put some more glue on there. And then we did these lifeboats. We installed a LED strip and some, I don't have it out here, but we installed some reflective tape to the deck part with the funnels. So that is it for episode 25. All right, so super exciting that one piece just keeps getting longer and longer, and then we added that reflective tape into that upper deck section, so that was kind of interesting. And of course, on the Lego side, we cracked open box 2 and got started on that section. So let's do our summary really quick. For the scale model, we completed 13 steps and used 25 parts. For the Lego side, 18 steps and 74 parts. Total to date for the scale model, 322 steps and 497 parts. And on the Lego side, 682 steps and 2,804 parts. So we are just chugging right along. Next week, we're going to be doing some more window pieces. I think we get, let me double check here. Yeah, we get a deck house that we're going to be working on, installing some windows and grills and things. And then, of course, Batmobile on Saturday. Also, stay tuned coming up in December. We're going to be doing our daily build up to Christmas like we did last year with Home Alone, but this year it's going to be a little bit different. So we have another Lego set with 24 bags, and we're going to be doing 1 bag a day from December 1st to the 24th. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. But you know, also remember to like, share, subscribe. We're still trying to hit those subscriber milestones to give away some free Lego. And until we see each other again, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon.